Cancerians prefer that those with whom they are involved behave in a sophisticated and even shrewd manner. Okay? They want them to be clever and shrewd and sophisticated without too much worry over trivial or foolish concerns, because they are of the opinion that they have enough to contend with, never mind throwing frivolous considerations into life's problematic blend of more things to bother about.
I don't want to be a dreamer. I don't want to be a dreamer. I don't want to be a dreamer. I don't want to be a dreamer anymore.
Hello and welcome. We're going to discuss how narcissism expresses itself in different signs of the zodiac. We are focusing this particular discussion upon the sign of Cancer the Crab. Keep in mind that everyone has some narcissistic attributes, and that a person without any narcissism would have such a weak personality devoid of any ego strengths that she or he could not function in society. Narcissism refers to qualities in an individual of possessing self-love, egotism, self-centeredness, self-absorption, and conceit. The psychological profession describes a condition which they term as NPD, or Narcissistic Personality Disorder. This psychological syndrome presents with a person that lacks empathy for other human beings or creatures, requiring constant and excessive respect, appreciation, approval, and high self-esteem from other people, or high esteem given to them from other people, as well as being unable to participate in healthy relationships. Nevertheless, this is not a discussion about the medical aspect of NPD. Rather, we are taking a look at normal individuals and how narcissism expresses itself through each sign of the zodiac. Although I am a licensed registered nurse, I am not a psychologist. And even though I have worked in psychiatric units as a charge nurse, I am approaching this subject from the point of view of an astrologist. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. I'm a Rosicrucian seer, biblical astrologer, Christian psychic, and Gnostic mystic. And this is a Readings by Rosemary Angelic Transmission. In astrology, narcissism expresses itself via the ego matrix of the personality. And although the ego is often thought to be that of an ostentatious peacock or a flamboyant poser, it can also coyly tiptoe into cherished relationships as false modesty, ignoring one's own errors while broadcasting the faults of other people, thus prohibiting others from really experiencing the happiness of getting to know the genuine person concealed behind the veil of the ego out of a sense of fear, guilt, or shame. Every sign has its virtues and its vices. For Cancer the Crab, the main virtue is sensitivity, and the chief vice is fearfulness. Cancerians possess astonishing psychic abilities of clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience, giving the crab keen insights into the behavior of others. Indeed, it is precisely this quality that gives the crab the perception to be able to provide actionable instincts, which both other people and themselves can act upon when needed. These natives, these Cancerian natives, are able to really focus upon their psychic abilities, and they're able to really pinpoint how other people are feeling, and they become extremely sympathetic towards other creatures and other human beings alike. Although they have the qualities of uncertainty and vacillation, which when put together creates an amazingly eye-catching zodiac sign, sure to captivate their family, friends, and colleagues. So they're very attractive individuals. They're stunning, they're eye-catching. And it's because they're so sympathetic, and because also they're changeable. So they seem to really like you, but then they seem to get uninterested. But that's not really the case. It's what they seem to be to other people, and that's why other people get attracted to them. So that's kind of how this works, because they vacillate. And that's because they're ruled by the moon. And the moon is very changeable because it goes through the same things the sun goes through, all 12 zodiac signs, but it goes through faster. So it seems that they're fickle, when indeed they're just quicker because they're going around the earth more quickly than the earth goes around the sun. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to see how this sort of unfolds and how we can pinpoint where we might run into problems, and then we can also pinpoint how to keep everybody happy and healthy when dealing with a Cancerian, and how a Cancerian can also stay healthy and keep their relationships healthy. Now, when the vices of fear, trepidation, and occasionally panic are added into the mix, Cancerians then frequently push other people away, especially if the acquaintance behaves in a manner which seems to be too fawning, finicky, or flattering towards the crab. The reason Cancerians push people away is that they are being too nice to them. In other words, the other person is being too nice to the Cancerian. And the Cancerian doesn't know if the person is being genuine or behaving in a sincere way. Subsequently, the crab's friend, lover, or family member that is considered to be an unauthentic or silly sycophant might complain that the Cancerian is paranoid, on the other hand. Now, this is the specific juncture that can lead to the precise manner in which narcissism can begin to raise its head in a way that could begin to become unhealthy for either romantic, familiar, or business relationships. Indeed, this is the point in the relationship where trouble can brew in both the private and the public life of everyone involved. Cancerians prefer that those with whom they are involved behave in a sophisticated and even shrewd manner. Okay? They want them to be clever and shrewd and sophisticated without too much worry over trivial or foolish concerns, because they are of the opinion that they have enough to contend with, never mind throwing frivolous considerations into life's problematic blend of more things to bother about. So they don't need more and more things to worry about. They really have quite enough to worry about, thank you. When this type of interaction happens in one of Cancer's relationships, because a Cancerian is compelling and charming, their servile friend or kin then begins to try too hard to please them, at which point the Cancerian often begins to see such a groveling fool as someone not to be taken very seriously, okay? And simultaneously, the bowing and scraping doormat starts to feel exploited. Since both people in this type of interaction, both parties in this interaction are in reality sort of objectifying the other person, either for personal gain or for their own emotional fulfillment, both are behaving in an unhealthy way and might concurrently accuse each other of being narcissists. Everybody's pointing the finger at everybody else, right? That's the way it works. Everybody's pointing the finger at everybody else. It's you, it's you, it's you. Remember? A lot more fingers are pointing back at yourself. Now, how Cancer can keep mentally, emotionally, and physically healthy, okay, is to realize that the other person in this type of scenario most likely does care about you, even though their own insecurity gets the best of them. Avoid fearing that such a person is trying to harm you in some way, and stay away from trying to get revenge upon them or ruining their lives to keep them at bay. The healthiest thing you can do if you're a Cancerian is to just leave that person alone. Let them just move on in their lives. Don't try to keep them involved with you or attempt to rub it in that you got the better of them in the past. Proving that you can prevail over them might dampen down your own fear of what power they might have to harm you. Nevertheless, usually these types of admirers or suitors don't have any real desire to hurt you, especially especially if you just leave them alone without needing to continually demonstrate your superiority over them. Just move along to spend your energy and attention upon those individuals with whom you do truly get along and for whom you have an honest, high regard. The information found in this document that's attached to this presentation for this video that you can click on for the blog, and the information in this video is based on the oral tradition known as Kabbalah, taught to me by Rosicrucian clergy when I was but a young girl, the facts of which I have committed to memory. Thank you for joining us. Please join us again next time.